In this video, I'm going to talk about a quote that's going to help you manifest and essentially teach you how to operate imagination. Okay? So let's get started. If you're ready to learn and apply the information I'm going to share with you, stay. If you're not, don't stay because you're not going to get the results. You need to apply this stuff. You need to make imagining habitual. Habitual. All right. All right. So let's get started. Here's the quote. It's from Neville Goddard's book, The Law and the Promise. Okay, The Law and the Promise is my favorite book actually right now. The Law and the Promise by Neville Goddard. So it's a bunch of stories about how people manifest. That's why I like it, because it's case histories. But now here's a quote in the book. Quote: "There is no inevitable permanence in anything. Both past and present continue to exist only because they are sustained by imagining on some level or other. And a radical transformation of life is always possible by man revising the undesirable part of it." End quote. I don't know why I couldn't roll my tongue really well later on at the end. So basically, what Neville Goddard is saying there is that nothing is permanent. You can always change whatever's going on in your life. You can always change it, okay? And you do that through revising what you don't like. Find out if you know what you don't like, you know what you want, okay? You don't like not having money, you want more money. Start using your imagination. See yourself with money. There's something that I like. It's something that I do. I close my eyes and I imagine just money coming towards me. I'm just sitting down here. All right, I don't have to go anywhere. So in my imagination, I'm still sitting here, but now I see money like flying towards me, just flying towards me, tons of money, and then eventually it fills up the whole room, and I'm in an ocean of money. I'm in a sea of money. See how radical that imaginal act is? It's irrational and it's radical, and I end up getting people calling me or just getting deposited into my bank account for tips or for my books from Amazon. I have books on Amazon that people buy, and then I see it come in. It's like money's always here, and you just got to tap into that frequency of having it, because maybe you have so many images of not having it, whatever it is, money, love, health. That's what your identity is. Your identity is that not having money or not having health. That's why you don't have it, because that's your identity. But now you can change it. You can always change it by revising the things you don't like. Revise it, meaning you can see a better future, or you can literally revise the past. You can revise an event that will help you in whatever it is that you want. You know, maybe let's say, for example, there's a story that Neville Goddard talks about in this book where a woman, she had hurt her back or something, or her leg, and when she was a kid, and so she revised that scene where she didn't hurt herself. She actually didn't fall and hurt herself as a kid. She like landed correctly, and she did that until she felt like relief. You know, like it was true, and she ended up not having pain anymore in that part of her body. I forget what part of the body it was, but that's what she did through revision of the past. Now, something could happen now. Let's say this is another story from Neville Goddard. A guy got I think a letter from a real estate agent who was selling his property. It's actually land, but it's still a property. Land property. I digress. Now, he got a letter from the real estate agent, and he said, "These are the reasons why we won't be able to sell it." And he's like, "What?" We're like, "How is this guy thinking this way?" So what he did was he imagined himself at the office of the real estate agent, and him saying thank you to him. "Thank you for selling the home, or the property, the land. Thank you for selling the land." And then the agent telling him, "It is my pleasure. It was my pleasure doing business with you." So he did that a few times. You could do this all day. You can do it all day, especially if you really want something. Just do it all day, and it's gonna happen. Of course, don't try to like close your eyes and imagine. You know, be safe. And I'm gonna go over two ways that you can revise. There's two ways. Okay, I think these are the only ways. No, there's more. There's more. Like acting, you can act, walk as if. It's not act or walking as if you are it, because this is about being. Manifesting is about being. You don't in life. You don't get things. It's not about getting. It's about being. Then you get. You get it? It's about being and then you get. It's about being and then you get. It's about being and then you get. Okay. You can work hard, hard, hard. You might get it, but you might lose it because you don't really understand the true processes. Because you're thinking about how to get stuff, connecting dots. You're not understanding why things happen, and things happen because of our imagination and our self talk. Okay. So let's go over how to operate imagination and how to revise, basically how to revise your life. One is words. Here's one that I really like, and I've been seeing it recently because of the way I'm acting, the way I am behaving. Okay. Here's one. How do I feel? It's an ask formation. Okay. How do I feel? How do I feel now that I am worthy of deep, passionate love and the best care? And right now, natural. It's natural. Let me get up real quick because my zipper is down. Let me pull it up. Okay, there we go. I noticed that it was down. Okay, and so now with my girl, I tell her I love her. I support her in her in her work. Say, hey, have fun at work and stay focused, right? Be focused. And I'm like, man, that's love right there. I'm like, because I'm worthy of love, I get to give love too. I get to give it back. I get to give it, and so I'm giving it. And I'm also getting it, obviously. And this is why I'm here today, sharing this information, because I'm living physically my dream life, the life that I've imagined or daydreamed of, and I have it now. At least for me, I like kind of like not general images or general affirmations, but to an extent general, right? Because if you're thinking about an affirmation, a specific person, it's kind of like, at least for me, it's kind of like too much of wanting it instead of like just accepting it and being, right? Because with my girl, I would picture myself, having sex with an amazing woman, right? That was like an amazing woman, physically. And I didn't put a face to it. I didn't really put a face to it. And you can, if you want to manifest a specific person, it's possible. And I manifested her like effortlessly. And then when I manifest a specific person, I kind of feel like there's a lot of like tension. There's so much tension when I see the person. I'm like, oh, my specific person. And I was like, if I think about it, but it'll still happen. It doesn't matter how you feel. Imagination creates reality. So it'll happen. But that's how I feel. There's a different vibe. But when it's kind of general, it's like I just forget about it and it just shows up. Like it's so effortless and high vibe. Because manifesting is not about feeling good all the time. It's not. It's not. I want to share an example of how it's not. When I didn't know about imagination or the law of assumption, the law of creation. I talk about this story a lot. Um, I was imagining again. Oh my god. I was imagining having sex, right? And then a old friend from undergrad, and I had already got my master's degree. I was already like in my second year. No, I was already out of my master's degree, so it was years from my undergrad years. And she had messaged me. She had also got her master's degree in a different state, and she said, "Hey, let's catch up." And I'm like, "What?" And I'm like, "Okay, let's catch up." And I'm like, "This is a girl." In my mind, I'm like, "This is a girl who I was trying to hook up with as an undergrad," and we had good vibes. Everything was good. We were both attracted to each other, but she never let me have sex. Um, it's so long ago that I don't remember if I kissed her or not, but I think we did. But we never went to the sex. Um, and so I'm like, oh, nothing's gonna happen. We're just gonna have dinner, right? Nothing's gonna happen. And then we ended up hooking up. Um, Before we went to the dinner, and then we went to the dinner. But long story short, I didn't believe, and I wasn't in a negative vibe. And back then, I wasn't really grateful. I wasn't that grateful about life, and I wasn't in a positive frequency at that time because I had living such a low frequency throughout my life. That's how powerful the human experience, the human body is, because you could be so negative and you still have like a functional life. You'll still have so many blessings, but you're negative. You know, that's how that's how powerful and how much the universe is and how positive it is. It's us. Maybe unfortunately, maybe when we were kids, we were around a lot of negative beliefs. But now that we're older, we're self-aware. We can change it. It's our responsibility. Okay. Um, and there's another one where Neville Goddard. He also didn't wasn't believing. Like he was learning the law of assumption, so he wanted to get tickets to go to Barbados. He's like, "Where's it at? Where's it at?" Abdullah, his mentor. I'm like, "You're Abdullah." He's like, "You already went. Okay, you already went to Barbados," and he's closed the door. Bam. You know, you went to Barbados. You went to Barbados, and he's telling him, "Where's the ticket? I'm imagining. I'm imagining while during the day I'm walking. I'm closing my eyes, seeing the instead of seeing big buildings, I'm seeing the tropical trees and the smell of the ocean. And at night, I'm doing the same thing. I'm going to sleep in my father's home in my youth bed, right when he was a kid. So I'm in Barbados. I'm doing it, but where's it at? He's he's not believing. He's not believing. He's frustrated. It still manifests. That's how powerful imagination is. I like to say that imagination overrides affirmation. But why use both? Why not use both? Use both. And it feels good too. That's why I use affirmation. And because it helps me with the feeling. But I digress. Um, there's another one I want to share. Oh yeah, Neville Goddard and his imagination, when he knew how to use imagination to manifest, he imagined himself being in a boat, leaving Barbados. This is later on when he had a wife and kids, leaving Barbados, and he's looking back at Barbados while he's on the boat because he's manifesting a boat ride, a boat ticket, and he's like sad, He's like sad that he's leaving. So it's not about being positive, like yeah, rah rah, He's sad because leaving his family, his extended family, mom, brothers and sisters, and he ends up getting those tickets, and he needed to get those tickets to get to New York before a certain time. So he was feeling that he was getting to New York at that certain time, So that's what happened. Okay. It's feeling the purpose, the meaning of it. Like, what's the purpose of the imaginal act? Like when I manifested going to college, we use imagination a lot. We use it. We just are not aware of how we're using it and how it is really impacting our lives. When I was incarcerated, when I was 18, I was there for 2 years. For those of you who are new, and I got out a month before I turned 20. Um, but I would imagine I was in college, and I was walking on the campus, right? In my imagination, as I'm walking on the campus, or I'm sitting down in a desk and seeing the professor walk back and forth teaching, I felt successful. I felt like I was winning. I felt like I was doing great. This implied that I was getting really, really good grades, and I did get really good grades, and I went to UCLA, and it was fully paid in scholarships. I was just feeling successful. I didn't see UCLA. I didn't see A's. I just was on the campus feeling super successful. I'm like, yes, super successful. Yes, yes, yes. And so that's what I ended up experiencing physically. And then I just call that coincidence. I just call that deja vu. But then when Bob Proctor, my coach, my Abdullah, like, I don't know, is it my Abdullah? That's funny. Um, he's like, imagine, see yourself, and it's gonna happen. You know, think of the times when you've imagined something and then it happened. You know, think about when you think about a car. You know, this happens to a lot of people. You think about a car, right? Let's pretend this is a magazine. That, oh, this is a black Hellcat, Dodge Challenger, right? Hellcat. Oh yeah, love that car. You know, and then you're like, I want to get one, and then you're so enamored and just so like focused, and you know, on that car that you start seeing it everywhere. It starts showing up. You know, and then you're like, oh yeah, I remember that. Oh yeah, oh when I was in Kershawee, I just see myself in college. Oh yeah, and then I saw it, and then it happened. You're like, oh yeah, oh yeah, and then all these things started just like. So that really helped me believe in imagination. I think maybe that's why that's my purpose, you know, because I've seen a lot of my imaginal acts become facts because I get super obsessed. And obsession is good. Run that image. Run it. Run it. Because that's what's gonna make the change. Okay, that's what's gonna revise your life. You know, I love myself so much that I have affirmed for love because I'm worthy of it. Right? I've done so much personal development that I say I'm worthy of love. I'm worthy of being with the fit baddie, and I am. You know, I'm also a fit quote unquote baddie, but I'm a fit guy. You know, I'm a fit guy. You know, this shirt doesn't do me justice, but I'm pretty fit, and I affirmed it, and I imagined my body too, my body and the things that I've done with my body, like power snatches, power cleans, all those beautiful movements that the body can do, muscle ups. I've imagined and I've done. So, um, it's just amazing, amazing, amazing. This operation of the mind. Okay, so that's words, affirmations. Okay, um, tell yourself, how do I feel now that I have whatever it is, and you can run robotic affirmations, just like meaning just saying the affirmation. I forget this girl who's on YouTube as well and teaches the law of assumption. She I forget her name. I'm gonna shout her out next time. I want to get her name. She says robotic affirmations are like holding the line, especially like when you get a little doubt. Just hold the line. You know, like, oh, maybe I don't have enough. No, I have more than enough money. I'm rich. I'm a millionaire. I have millions in my bank account. Millions come into my bank account daily. Um, Money just loves me. Money's attracted to me. I'm a money magnet. I magnetize millions of dollars. You're holding the line. See, I went into a trance right now, saying that. So it's very important to do that, especially when you have doubt and just now that you have this knowledge, you know, like Neville Goddard when he was like, "Oh, where's it at? Where's my tickets?" He should have said like, "I went to Barbados. Yeah, I got a ticket already. I already got a ticket. I already got a ticket to go to Barbados. I already got a ticket to go to Barbados. You know, because that's his goal was to get a ticket. But if it was not even a ticket, his goal, it was just go to Barbados, and he tells I went to Barbados. I went to Barbados and I had a great time. I went to Barbados and had a great time. I went to Barbados and had a great time. Went to Barbados and had a great time. That's holding the line, you know. It's holding the line because that's what you want, and you want to say that you already got it. Like say you want to win an NBA championship if you're an NBA player, right? Then you say, I am the 2026 NBA champion. I'm a 2026 NBA champion. You know, we won the NBA championship. We won the NBA championship. We won the NBA championship. You know, we won the 2026 NBA championship. You know, so you're being the champion, and then you get it. You know, you beat it, and then you get it. It's not about because again, life is about being. It's not about getting. If you're always trying to get, you'll never get it. You need to be, then it comes. Okay, you get who you are, not what you want. You know, because if you just focus on getting, that's chasing. That's getting. That's chasing. That's not having. Being, you have. Being means you have, and so therefore you get it. It just comes to you. It just attracts. You just attract it. Uh, like with my girl, just attracted. It was effortless, super effortless, and yeah. Um, so that's affirmations and affirmations. Okay, let's go on to the next thing, the second one that I said I was gonna share, and that's images. Okay, number one, get into a state akin to sleep. That's the best way. Just relax, close your eyes, and see the imaginal act that you want to do. That implies you have it. Car, see yourself driving it. See yourself driving it in your carport, because that means you already have it. That it's yours. What are you doing with a, whatever car that you want, parking it in your garage? It's because it's yours. You know, or take it to work. Imagine yourself taking it to work, parking in your parking spot at work, wherever you work. All right, and it's gonna happen. Just run it. Be obsessed, just like I was. Be super obsessed with it. Obsessed with the imaginal act at the end. Okay, following the accomplishment or the accomplishment. You know, it just depends whatever it is. You know, maybe you want to get something, then you see yourself with it. You want to do something, then see yourself doing it. You know, towards the end, maybe a muscle up. I didn't see myself doing a muscle up. I saw myself at the top of the bar. I was like, yeah, I did a muscle up, bang, and then I just, boom, did the muscle. So, both work though. Both work. So that's the imagination. Okay, just relax, close your eyes, and see it. You know, see it, relax. You can also just imagine it. You know, walk and imagine. Don't recommend that because you might trip, but I do that sometimes. But I know where I'm walking. I'm not just like randomly walking somewhere. You know, I know there's no cars, no people coming by, so I'm just like walking, kind of closing my eyes a little bit, saying little affirmations. How do I feel now that I have this? And I see the image. So it's a combination. You know, for example, my Dodge Challenger, I manifested it because I would walk on the side of my office building, and I would say, how do I feel now that my beautiful wide body black Dodge Challenger is parked behind these cars right here? You know, these ugly ass cars, because you know they're pretty ugly. And I would imagine there was a car right there. I would imagine there was a Challenger right there, and I was there. Okay, every time I see my Challenger, I'm like, wow, how powerful the imagination is. Like I've created my life, you know. And so that's the power of that you have, that you use to revise your life. So run it, you know, be obsessed, run that image, you know, run the affirmation, and then go on about your day. Try and stay busy. I like it when I just try and stay busy. And like my girl, I say my girl because that's the recent like a big like this for me is it's a thing that I've always wanted, and it manifested recently and effortlessly. So yeah. The next one is imagination board or vision board. Okay, that you can put up. Like I don't really use these as my vision board, but I know I have a little Ferrari right here with myself inside. But the thing is to see yourself in imagination with it, right? So it's just like a reminder, like, oh, that's my desire. I should imagine, I should imagine it. This is a reminder, So that's what vision boards do. They're reminders. So you could do a vision board or imagination board, whatever you want to call it, and then write a little affirmation. I feel like that's worked for me. A little affirmation, like I'm a money magnet. I'm a fit baddie magnet. Um, put quotes there that really inspire you. I like quote an assumption, though false to the evidence of the senses, if persisted in, will harden into fact. End quote. That's from Neville Goddard. Because again, an assumption is something that is an imaginal idea. It doesn't have no evidence. There's no evidence. Imagination has no physical evidence, and so it's an idea. Okay, an idea or an assumption, though false to the evidence of the senses, if persisted in, will harden into fact. It will harden into fact. It must manifest. All right. You get anything, health, wealth, love, happiness, whatever it is. I have everything. That's why I'm here. Today, quote unquote, would be a day off because, I work Monday through Friday in sales. And I'm here teaching you guys how to use imagination because I just got to give back. I got to give back. What am I going to do? Just watch video games? I could do that, but it's not fulfilling. So I've also gained wisdom, so giving back is very, 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 very fulfilling. Also, comment your success stories. Maybe you manifested some tacos. Maybe you manifested something small, like whatever it is, because that's gonna start helping you really manifest bigger things because of your belief is gonna be stronger. You don't have to believe that this is real. It is real. It does happen, but at first you're probably a little skeptical. And so as you start doing it, it builds more confidence. If not, take my confidence, take my belief in this, and take a copy of it. Yeah, this is gonna happen. Yeah, because Miguel is like that too. So he's like that. So I'm gonna be like that, and I'm gonna believe in the imagination. I'm gonna believe in my affirmations, my assumptions, that they're gonna harden into fact if I persist. All right. So that's it for this video. If you want more help, click the description below. I have books that I sell on Amazon. Click the author's link and you can check out books on manifesting, health and fitness, and more. And you'll get more help there, more details, and a lot of just little tips and tricks. All right, I hope you like this one, and until next time, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you can get more videos like mine. Peace.